Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening. It's Tuesday evening. It's the 30th of August. Bank holiday. Well, not the bank holiday's gone, hasn't it? We're almost into September, and well, whatever. I mean, the autumn is coming. A lot of people are thinking doom and gloom. Electricity, gas bills, and all of this. I just can't wait for my flight out of here, coming up in a couple of months' time. Anyway, I'll say hello to the chat. David R, nice to hear from you, David. How's it going? Capo 17, Dutch Farang, Gemini Star, Mori Hazel. Yeah, Mori Hazel, not familiar with that name, so I'll put it up, say hello. Greeting everyone. Steady Eddie, he's our man. No one chats like he can. Super duper, absolute super duper. Capo 17, Shane Humphreys. Murray Hazel, yeah, okay, we've done that one. El Terrifico, nice to hear from you, mate. Okay. Martin Blonston. Capo 17, love the music in Toad. Yeah, I'll put that one up there. Love the music in Toad. Keyboard section reminds me of the Doors. I like it. It's got a kind of psychedelic feel to it. Someone else said something I never thought about. He said it sounds like the Crossroads theme, down, 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 Benny, fetching the spanner and all that. Okay, please yourself. Liz Truss. Evening all, hope you're having a fantastic good of being there. Okay. Now, Liz Truss is in the chest. I don't think that's the real Liz Truss. At least I hope not, because I wouldn't like to think that she talks like that. Sandra Taylor, nice to hear from you, Sandra. Nice to hear from you. Oh, sorry, that talk last night about burglary and all this. Sandra said that gay, she didn't sleep very well after that. Well, we got sort of light-hearted stuff tonight. There's no heavy stuff at all tonight. At least I don't think that. No, there's no heavy stuff at all. It's all light-hearted stuff tonight. Okay. Chaz Brown, nice to hear from you. Neil Fleet, nice to hear from you, mate. The Fat Gent. I've just seen somebody. I think it was Clive. Yeah, who posted a picture of Vin Diesel with his shirt off on a balcony somewhere with a big pop belly, and Vin Diesel after heading to retire for a couple of weeks. Oh well, it's nice to know that the superheroes, get a bit of a bear belly as well. But where was I now? Ian UK, Barry from EastEnders. Nice to hear from you guys. Barry from EastEnders. Hope you're well and all got beer in hand. I've got a Coors Light. I've actually got tons of other beer, Speckled End, Kronenberg, and all that kind of stuff. But I'm actually just drinking one a day of that. All the other stuff is Coors Light. And yeah, I've done my speed walk this evening to a nice little village, and all that. So yeah, doing all right. Oh, so where are we now? Alpha Interactions off the Santorini. Where's that? That sounds Italian, that or something. End of September, and then off to Thailand for 3 months in November. Good for you, mate. Good for you. It's you go. Nice to hear from you. Pinball. Tom Streeter. Nice to hear from you. Danish bacon, Danish bacon. I'll say hello to Danish bacon. Yogi Bear, good evening, Mikhail Gorbachev, the last president of the Soviet Union before its dissolution, has died in Moscow at the age of 92. Well, I didn't know that. That must be breaking news. I didn't know about that. And Gorby was all right, wasn't he? He was a nice man. He was the first, Russian leader to come out of the cold and greet the West, and he did a lot. Oh, we've got to talk about Gorby. We've got to talk about Gorby some other time, basically. But very sad to hear that. Clive is here. Okay, nice to hear from you. It's you go. Life Utopia. Sean the Prawn. Good evening. That time is flying these days. I feel like you streamed only yesterday. Yeah, I didn't see that long ago, did it, mate? John Mitch, so Eddie, I missed yesterday's live stream. So tell us, what was the conclusion? Was the moon landing true or false? I think it was actually. I think it was sort of a mixed reaction, wasn't it? I mean, it was a mix. I mean, personally, I think it was real because it wasn't the moon landing. There was actually six of them. There was six moon landings, and all these conspiracy theories seem to concentrate on the first one, don't they? Yeah, So I think the moon landing was real, but it was kind of a mixed reaction, really. So nice to have you there, anyway, John. Emma, nice to hear from you. David Heisenberg, nice to hear from you. Richard Palwach, thank you for that super chat. Thank you for that. Good evening. Get yourself a few beers. Okay, this one's for you, mate. I mean, would I choose this cause beer if I wasn't conscious about my weight? I'm not so sure. I'd still probably offer Kronenberg or Carlsberg or whatever. But you do get used to this. You do get used to it. And I'm kind of used to it. Like I said, I'm just having one can of ordinary beer a day. And I'm having several cans of this Coors Light. So the calories, do make a difference. Anyway, thanks for that, Richard Powell. I really appreciate that, mate. Cheers. Alan Hunter. I'm sure that name sounds like he's at a crossroads. Alan Hunter, here, the old speckled head here, ready to go. £1.50 here. £1.50. Is that a pub or is that a camp somewhere? All right, cheers here. Anyway. Pocono Schwartz, good evening to you. Bend Over, David Marchant. Bend Over, psychedelic prog music from the underground. Well, that sounds bloody good. That sounds right up my street. Psychedelic prog music from the underground. I like that sort of stuff. Really, really do. Oh, my God, no. Lee James, Eddie, have you smashed the top of that security tag on the rum bottle? No, I haven't. I've still got that bottle of rum there with the tag on it. No, I've got two other bottles from last week which have been keeping me company. There's the bottle of gin and there's a bottle of whiskey, but both of those are really quite low now. They're quite low, so I've got to sort something out with that rum bottle pretty soon. Bloody hell, it's embarrassing, really. How could I have allowed that to be delivered? McLaren F1 race. It was me. Was that actually you in that photograph on Facebook? Because it looked like Vin Diesel. So you actually look like Vin Diesel. Then. Oh well, good for you, mate. Lose a bit of weight and make a bit of money as a lookalike. Delboy K, nice to have you. Mark Ollig, nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Hope all's well, mate. Let's see. Alistair Taylor, Morning, being a closet follower, Eddie, being a closet follower for a few years. No one's ever described himself as a closet follower. Okay, what's in Australia? What the bloody else could I be doing at 6:30 on a Wednesday morning? Well, what was I was the temperature? I suppose like this is probably your winter out there now. Anyway, so 6:30 in the morning. Okay, good morning to you, mate. I hope all's well. Shane Humphreys, Ed, will you be going to? Shane Humphreys, Ed, will you be going to Vietnam? Your travels this year? I doubt it. I before the pandemic, I went to Vietnam quite a bit. I'd done a couple of trips there. And I think I filmed a lot of that kind of stuff. Vietnam's a great country, wonderful place, and I'll always want to return there. But I think Thailand's the obvious one because that's the easiest one to get to. But I think Cambodia, I was spending a fair bit of time there anyway. But thanks for that question anyway. Lee Clark, Gas and Lecky, Simon Eyes 41. I'm on the vodka and diet lemonade. As calorie-wise, the vodka's out. Yeah, that's all right. It's way better than beer. I need to lose a few pounds. Good evening, by the way. To a vodka is it's something that's never really done for me. I like whiskey. I like gin. I like rum. I like brandy, but I've never really been one for vodka, funnily enough. Sounds good anyway. Delboy K, okay. Gorba's good. Okay, well, whatever. We don't really want to get into that kind of stuff. Andrew Hammond, good evening. Alpha Interactions, Santorini's in Greece, Eddie. Way to warm up for a winter in Southeast Asia. That sounds like a good life. Sounds bloody good to me, mate. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. Greece is lovely, especially in the month of September. Fantastic. Ross, evening, Eddie. Which is the safest city in the world? London doesn't. Yeah, you're right. I don't think London's the safest city in the world these days. Where's the safest city in the world? Well, I don't know. I mean, I've actually always found Bangkok to be a fairly safe city for a capital city. It's fairly safe. I mean, it's safer than safer than a lot of other places anyway. But don't quote me on it. Yogi Bear, it's all over the news now. It was put out about 9:30. Well, that's the time that I'm preparing for this live stream. So, Martin Powell, nice to hear from you. Good evening, Ed. Nice to be able to watch live for once. Usually working nights when you were on. Oh, to see you around Petard at the end of November. Buy you a beer or two. Okay, cheers. Thanks for that. Anyway, mate. Yeah, it'd be nice to meet you, Martin. Anyway, and good for you going to work of an evening. Boo Hoo is here. Nice to hear from you. No, hang a minute. Ichigo, when are you flying to Thailand again? And also, is October a rainy month in Thailand? Well, I'm flying to Thailand beginning of November, which is just a couple of months away now. Can't wait. And as for October in a rainy month, it's hit and miss, isn't it? I think October is coming to the end of the rainy season, but sometimes you can, if you're unlucky, you can get some really quite heavy rain in October. It's all a matter of luck, really, isn't it? Matter of luck. Paul Hoskin, hello, Ed. I'm drinking a cup of tea. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Good for you. Nice to hear from you. Lee James, Brad Russell, Ken Christopherson. Hi, Eddie. Great you're here. I can't sleep. Is that because my voice is too loud? Okay, then, Ken, I'll keep my voice down just for you. Okay, thank you. Nice to hear from you. Capo 17, they did land on the moon. They found Lester Pickett's tax money. Okay, fine. Good for you. Boo-hoo. Ross. Even that, what's the safest city in the world? London doesn't seem safe anymore. Not in the old carnival stabbing them. Oh, I don't know. I mean, all British cities. I mean, when you switch your internet on in the daytime, what's the first thing that comes up? MSN. Every bloody day I'm hearing about a different murder and heinous murder, and I hate to say this, it's a horrible thing. I've even heard stories about parents murdering their own children. Oh God, the whole world's gone bloody crazy. It's dreadful. It's absolutely dreadful. But a stabbing in well, apparently it happens quite a lot. I don't live in London. I mean, I did live there many years ago, and I thought it was quite safe many years ago. But now it's got a reputation for knife crime and all this. London doesn't seem safe. I suppose if you go in the centre of London, don't forget a lot of these horrible happenings take place in the suburbs, like what's happened in Liverpool recently. These suburbs and that all the tragedy that goes. It's. I don't want to get into all the depressing stuff, but if you actually stay in the centre of cities, I think it's the same with any city, really, isn't it? The actual centre of cities where the tourists go, that's probably the safer place, really, isn't it? And it's because, and also they've probably got a greater police presence there, and what you've got to watch out for, of course, if you're in the tourist places, is pickpockets and all that kind of stuff. That's the same anywhere over the world. But I mean, don't forget, a lot of these murders that take place are people who know each other. So it's terrible. I mean, it's bloody terrible what's happening. Let's see. Ivan, nice to hear from you. Martin Ryder, good evening from you. Harold Betterson, hell yeah, Harold Betterson, okay. Joey Roberts, where were you brought up in Liverpool, lad? I'm from Old Swan, off to Thailand in 2 days. I was brought up in part of Liverpool which you wouldn't want to know. I mean, it was a very, very poor part of Liverpool when I was brought up. I mean, You know, it was so poor. Even the rainbow was in black and white. You paid your gas bill and your electricity bill in the same month, and the police come round wanting to know where you were getting the money from. It's a bit. I'd rather forget, to be honest with you. Arthur Lobon, Eddie, have you made a will? Yes, I have actually. I have. My money, all my belongings and everything will be going to a reputable, and I say reputable with a very, very long history, charity. Now, I don't normally support charities. I think a lot of them are a load of crap. Okay, I don't trust them. But the one where my money is going to, that charity's been around for a century or more. So I think it's got a good track record. So yeah, yes, the answer to that is I have made a will. Okay. So Arthur, if you turn out to be a long lost relative of mine who thinks that, when I snuff it, happy days. Well, you are disappointed, Arthur. Okay. You will be getting damn all. All my money is spoken for. Thanks for the question anyway. See, Paul Hoskin, tea with some biscuits, yum. See, I said we get some really great comments on this chat here. Marvelous. Yeah, Mark Alec, I look pretty good on Facebook too. Ask it, Mark, you're very, very good. You're very, very distinguished. Sometimes I've seen a picture with the beard. You're a very, very distinguished looking chappie. Who's this? Harold Betterton. Hey, what are your thoughts on the direct to Phuket flights? Chewy do. I haven't really investigated because I've decided that Phuket is off my list. I'm not going to be going to Phuket anytime soon. I've been there before many, many, many years ago. I almost went there on my last visit to Thailand, but it's not a place that I'm actually going by the reviews, word of mouth that I've heard recently. Some people say it's well worth a visit, but a lot of people say don't bother. I can't really, I just think Pattaya, when you arrive at Bangkok airport, Pattaya is so easy to get to, so easy. And I don't really hear that many good reports about Phuket. I don't see that being on the menu for me for a long time. So the idea of direct flights to Phuket, if you like Phuket, and some lovely islands around there, don't get me wrong, Phi Phi Island and all this kind of stuff, wonderful stuff, Krabi province and everything. But it's not really a place that's on my list right now anyway. Danish bacon. Eddie, who's your favourite bird in Brookside? I actually watched Brookie. I used to watch, but I must admit, Anna Frail. She wasn't a typical Scouse bird. I don't think she was from Liverpool originally, was she? I think she was from somewhere else. But Anna Frail, wow, lovely, really great little actors, You know that terrible, horrific story we remember that involving a family and an abusive father and all that. But Anna Frail, oh my God! She was in a play, wasn't she? She was in a play once where she went naked, and she was nice and hairy. She was lovely and hairy. I do like hairy. I mean, Anna Friel, lovely and hairy, and I'm very, very explicit as well, and lovely. Oh yeah, Anna Friel. Oh my, I wouldn't say no. Wouldn't say no. Hope that answers your question. Let me see. Okay, let's see. Who's this? Shane Humphreys. I'm going back on the 1st of October, second time this year. Yeah, good for you. You're going back to Thailand, I'm assuming that you mean. Good for you. Stephen Booth, nice to hear from you. John Mitch, Eddie, you ought to do a live stream of yourself attempting to open that bottle of rum with the security top on. If I was to do a live stream, it'd have to be early in the day. If I'd done that later at night, it'd wake the whole bloody street up. Martin Ryder, Bangkok to Ho Chi Minh City, $99 return. That sounds about right. To visa required for, I think you mean no visa required for less than 14 days. Could be a good visa run. Yeah, that's what it was like last time that I went to. I did 2 trips to Vietnam a few years ago in the same winter. One of them was from Bangkok to Hanoi, less than 14 days, and I stayed in the same place. And it was good. And the other was where was that? Da Nang, going down to Ho Chi Minh. Yeah, good place, good place. Always worth a look. Harold Betterson, will you smoke any of the funny stuff? And I was like, no, I don't bother with any. I don't even smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke. I've never smoked anything. I don't do any of that. Maybe it might be an idea to do a bit of a report on it, but for the benefit of other people, not me. It's not really my thing. Sean the Prawn, Eddie, my local chippy is either at least £1 on the price of everything. I hope they don't start charging per chip. Have you noticed the cost of living crisis where you are? The cost of living crisis, not really, not really, because I got rid of my car. I actually got rid of my car because I just didn't need it anymore. And it was because I'm going to be out of the country for a large portion of the year. So the idea of having a car just sitting around doing nothing, for most of the year, it was just, and also there was problems with, gearbox and whatever. So I got rid of it. So I'm not really buying any fuel. I'm not buying anything related to a car. And also the cost of, really, I'm paying, I'm shopping out at Asda. And the cost of stuff coming from Asda, I haven't really noticed that much. I'm really kind of living quite frugally, really, while I'm here. Who's this? Stuart Marsden, evening at 117 days. What's that? That's about 4 months. So that would be about Christmas time, wouldn't it? I went to Thailand next. A quick break to the Dominican Republic beckons at the end of September. First time to Dominican Republic. Looking forward to seeing what it's all about. I've never made it to the Dominican Republic, but well, good for you anyway. Good for you. Martin Ryder, no visa required for NAM, less than 14 days. That's good. That's good. That's good. Paul Hoskin, how much weight are you trying to lose? Well, I'd say what, if I could lose 3.5 stone, that would be wonderful. Because I'm about 16.5 stone. I might have lost a couple of pounds, but I'm, about 16.5 stone, which is a ridiculous. I'm sort of like big boned, and it's like, I don't look 16.5 stone, but I am. And I really, 13 stone would be an ideal weight for me. But the thing is, when you get to a certain age, do everything gradually. Don't be trying to lose weight too quickly. Everything gradual, really. Delboy K, Prague is very safe. Okay, that's good. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see. Clive, I need to discover cardio for Pattaya. Okay. Well, when I'm traveling, I do a hell of a lot of walking. So even though I do drink beer, even though I do drink beer quite a lot when I'm in a hot climate, the fact that I walk so much, it does help. Let's see, Brad Russell, Phuket, October a month, first time in 3 years. Have a great time, mate. Pocono Swat, Tokyo is probably the safest large city in the world. Really, it's probably the safest large city. Yeah, I can imagine. I've never actually made it to Japan, but I can imagine Tokyo probably is a safe. They have low levels of crime. I do know that about it. Well, I went to Taiwan a few years ago, and that was very, very safe. That was a very, very safe city. So thanks for that info. Spitz Energy, nice to hear from you, mate. United Arab Emirates, probably the safest cities. Okay. It probably is, but don't be kissing a girl on a beach, because as a Westerner, if you start kissing a girl, open affection in public, you may find it's not so safe, if you know what I mean. Martin Ryder, rain doesn't bother me in the parlour. Okay, nicely put, nicely said, mate. Sean Moore, nice to hear from you. Sean, who's this? Who's this? Sean Harris. Hi, Ed. You like the Wasp show? Oh my God. Yeah, I done my first short videos of that. I just thought I filmed it. I was out eating and I thought these bastard wasps come and annoy you while you're eating your dinner outside. And I thought, well, I'll film one. So I got my first short fit. All right, well, it's not a classic. It won't win any Oscars. It's not like it. The little short video features a wasp. It features a bone of chicken. I think it's got a cameo appearance by a Jack of Potato. Not the most intelligent video, but it's short. You got to start somewhere anyway. David Mayer, nice to hear from you. Okay, Mark Hogan. Martin Ryder, Riyadh, probably the safest capital city. I wandered through Bahrain once. Paul Hoskins, how much is fish and chips now from the Chippy? I don't know, because do you know something? I don't eat fish and chips from the Chippy anymore. I love it. The problem I have with fish and chips from the Chippy, I suffer from eyes are bigger than me belly syndrome. And the last couple of times I've fish and chips, I can't have a medium portion of chips. If I pass a fish and chip shop hungry, that's the worst thing, because I can't have a small one. I have to have a large portion. And when I eat the large portion, it just knocks me for six. It just sits on my stomach and I can't move. And the last time I had fish and chips from a Chippy was probably about 3 years ago. And I thought, don't have that again. Don't have it. It goes down. It's beautiful, but Christ, you regret it afterwards. So I don't know. I don't know how much it is nowadays. Alistair Taylor, Argentina from your Saturday live stream. I was had it on my bucket list, but you did not recommend. Interested to know the main reasons. The main reasons that I didn't recommend it, maybe because I come from Brazil. And Brazil is a very, very colourful, very, very exciting country. Wonderful country. Absolutely amazing country. And when I went into Argentina, I spent a month traveling around Argentina. I went, I suppose the first place I went was Buenos Aires, which is maybe a big city, it's a big city, but you really need to spend a lot of time there to find you. I thought the Argentinian people were really quite friendly and pleasant. I also went to that beach resort, the one, I can't remember, it's called the one that I can't remember what it's called now, but it was in the month of October, so it was a little bit out of season then. Can't remember it, but I drank a lot of wine and I ate a lot of steaks while I was there, and the people were really fine. And this is about 10 years or 12 years ago, something. And then I went down to Bariloche, which is like the gateway to Patagonia. And that was a very, very nice town, very, very alpine town. But this is the problem. It's a nice alpine, you have mountains in the background and lakes and all of that. The problem with it, if I want alpine, I'll go to, Austria or somewhere like that. I just didn't think that Argentina was the essential South America. But from there, I went north and I stopped off in some really quite nice towns going north of Argentina. I can't remember Salta. So I can't really recall the names now, but there are some quite nice towns. But it just didn't seem to be a very exciting country. Nothing like in the way that Brazil was. But then don't just take my word. A lot of people probably love Argentina. They probably love it. Don't take my word for everything. Anyway, let me see. Ivan, Sadiq Khan has ruined London. Well, I don't live in London, so I can't really say. Martin Ryder, City of London, square mile financial district is very safe. Okay. David Mayer, spice heads are causing the problem. Yeah, you get them in the town where I live. You get them everyone. Mark Holler, Gorbachev has died today at 91. He visited Minnesota in 1990. All the major roads in Minneapolis were closed. I didn't know until I come on the stream about Gorbachev. I will have to look at that on the news later. I think it was all right, Gorby. I like Gorby. Let's see, bend over Tokyo. Yeah, I heard. Maybe Japan must be worth a visit sometimes. Delboy, okay, Toxteth. No, Toxteth is not really very, very safe. I lived in Toxteth in the early 1980s, during the time of the riots, and And you know, it's certainly not safe. Certainly, I mean, don't forget, before Toxteth, everyone called it Liverpool Lake before that. But I lived in Toxteth for a while. I was there. I seen the riots. I mean, you know the riots up at Parliament Street, and in the next there was Lodge Lane, where the department stores were, and they were looting all the department stores. It was a terribly disturbing and very, very frightening experience. But I did gain from that experience. I've got a coloured celly, a video, a hi-fi system. Just kidding. No, Toxteth is not safe. Spitz Energy. I was close to going with a lady boy last week. It was only when she reversed into a parking slot that I sussed her. Good for you, mate. Go, nicely put. Let's see. Okay. Let me see. Okay, so let me see. Capo, Wonga, women's office need Gambian erection recreation. Okay. Now let's see. Where are we in the chat? Okay. So where am I in the chat? Okay. I've fallen well behind the chat. Okay. Let me see. Okay. I'm just gonna go through this. We'll waffle on it. We'll waffle on. See how we do anyway. Martin Ryder, my ashes will be scattered in soy honey. Do you know so? You'll be scattered in soy. I know a young fella who his dad loves going out to Pattaya, and his dad, his dad died, and this young fella said to me, "I'm going out to Pattaya." I thought, Sai's not really for young guys. He said, "I'm going out there because my dad wanted to actually scatter my dad's ashes in Pattaya." He said that's what he wanted. Jesus Christ. Good for him anyway, mate. It's amazing what people, remember, especially what I say in the YouTube videos. I made a video a few years ago, and I'm amazed people pick things out of you. You said this in that video. I don't know how many of you actually seen Nick Dean's NDTVI TFI Friday. I was on that once, and Nick interviewed me on that show, and it kind of went down well. And Nick said something about 104 Street in Phnom Penh, and Nick said, you said that you wanted to be buried in that street. He said he's pulling up a video that I made. It's amazing what people remember. Steve West, I enjoyed Pattaya more than Phuket. Okay, I did as well. John Mitch, Phuket is way too expensive. And is it worth it? Is it worth it? Because I like to find things out. I've been to Phuket many years ago and I loved it. But in recent times, I've not heard many good reviews of it. Some very good reviews, but a lot of other people who say I wouldn't bother. Is it really worth it? Let me see. Okay, so what we're going to do now. Yours Travels. Good evening, guys. Now, you've been 1 hour ahead of you, Eddie. I get the lives in the cabin before bed. Okay, good for you. Yours Travels, who's from Liverpool originally, is currently doing a cruise. I believe it's around the Mediterranean. I've seen some photos, wonderful photos of Barcelona and other places. He's doing a cruise, and what do we think of that? Well, I'm bloody envious. I wish I was doing a cruise right now. It sounds fantastic. Anyway, never actually been on one before. It's on my bucket list. I've got to do a cruise. I mean, I've seen some of these amazing ships out there at the sea, and I've seen them burning. Oh man, it's incredible to think that man can make something. Oh, I got to do a cruise. I got to do one of these days. Anyway, Yours Travels. Okay, nice to hear from you, mate, and I'm sure you're having a great time. Let's see. Paul Hoskin, they have a hairy section on Chatterbait. Oh, I do like hairy. Capo 17, my gravestone will read, "The world shall hear from me again." Okay. So let's see. I'm just gonna skip through this chat here because we've got a couple of I've got some things to do tonight. I'm waffling on so much. Let's see. Hey, SK Tower. Hey guys, well, I'll be going off to Italy, Rome in October. That sounds wonderful. Wonderful. Italy's one of the first places that I ever wanted to see. Wonderful place. I love the history and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, Martin Ryder, the best 10-minute walk burns off 50 calories. One beer is 200. Thanks for that. Cheers me up. Cheers me up. Okay, so I'm just going to waffle on this. I think David Coleman, nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Sean Harris, I know you like the movies. You ever seen any Thai movies or movies that take place in Thailand? Not really. I don't really watch them. I mean, I suppose the closest I got, I seen the whole mini series of what's it called? Was it the Bangkok Hilton with Nicole Kidman and Denholm Elliott? I watched that quite recently, and that was quite cool. I think that's the closest I've got, to be honest with you. Thailand bound, nice to hear from you, Peter. I used to occasionally eat fish and chips. I've changed to a fish cake and chips, about 25% of the price. I'm not skint, but refuse to pay those prices. Really, I love fish and chips. I love fish cake and chips. But I swore the last time I ate in a chip, I had a love. I can't eat a medium fish and chips. That's the problem with me. I have to go for the big one. I have to have jaws on my. I have to have orca killer whale on my plate in front of me, and then I eat it and I think, oh my God, I'm done for. I'm done for. Martin Ryder, Argentina is boring. Yeah, I felt a little teensy weensy bit about that. I must admit, I would agree with you there. Harold Betterson, Ruggles, 99 pence a pint in Wetherspoon. Yeah, they do some quite nice. They do some quite nice, quite nice ales there. David Mayer, The Boys from Brazil is a great film. It sure is, really good. David Coleman, I love Peru, Bolivia, and Ecuador. Yeah, they're much better than Argentina, much better, because those countries feel more authentic South American. That's what they feel like. They feel more authentic South American. So they're much better, really. I like that, especially Bolivia. Okay, Gemini Star. Sadiq Khan is a knobhead. Okay, there's a review of a person there. Mark Alec, Gorby was all right. Yes. Okay, there's another review. There's a better review of a person. Yours Travels, Wetherspoons $8.90. I've had fish and chips in Wetherspoons recently. Wetherspoons $8.99 for fish and chips and 660 milliliters of Peroni and Coke. Yeah, I've had because that's a reasonable. You don't get to say that how big you want it. They give you a reasonable. So I've had fish and chips in Wetherspoons, but it's from a chippy that I have the problem. Honestly, it just I eat more than I should, and it just whacks me out. I can't do nothing afterwards. Delboy K. Okay, we're not going to use the N word there. Let's see. Who's this? Yours Travels. I'm in Aintree in Liverpool. Talked with another country to me. Yeah, I mean, because North Enders and South Enders are really quite different. Clive said, I had an invite to Caracas, Venezuela, off a fit bird earlier. Bugger, that law was as fit though. I never made it to Venezuela. But I did really like Colombia, and I wouldn't mind going again. David Coleman. I always feel safe in Cuba, never got ripped off. When I first went to Cuba, I was only there for a few weeks. That was about 20 years ago. I mean, that was my one visit there. And I like Cuba. I mean, very colourful, very charitable people. But it is a bit intimidating at first, especially when you wander around Havana at night time. They all want to strike you a conversation. They all want to follow you and, just crafty buggers. I like the place. I really like the place. And I always swore I'd return, but it's I don't know. It probably is. I still think you got to be careful there somehow. Lewis said, okay, well, thank you for your opinion. Okay, so listen. Let me see. Okay, Chugsy, your vlog on bar girl rates and non-pen is how I came across your channel several years back. At first was disgusted with my Western BS views, however, eventually I converted to the dark side. Okay, thank you. First of all, I shock and didn't Mick Jagger say that about some of this? He quoted some famous artist. First you shock them and then they put you in a museum. I suppose I'm ready for a museum. Martin Ryder, the wife is on the Queen Mary 2 right now from New York to Southampton, 6 nights, 999, including flight. That sounds good. Sounds bloody good. Sounds lovely. That sounds lovely. Yeah, let's see. Okay. David Coleman, Eddie, they have a free gay cruise. You should get on. No. I'd be bugged if it go on that one. Okay. Only let's see. Ben's over. Cold Khan is good for visiting for among us. It's a big university and the Barcy is full of young prospects. Okay. Deer Hunt, Martin Ryder, Deer Hunt was filmed on the River Kwai. Yeah, I heard it was filmed in Thailand. Definitely. Okay, so yours travels. Guys, honestly, there are some great deals on cruises. Get off this, and then 6 days later, I'm on a 14-night Scandinavian cruise for $9.49 with full drinks package. It's so cheap and 5-star food and drink. Wonderful, mate. You're living the dream, mate. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Delboy K. It's funny how much. That's a good point. It's funny how much people spend on a night out drinking, but complain about food prices. Yeah, that's very, very good point. So I'm just okay. So I've waffled on a bit. Whatever. It's just is a question. Glenn Hendricks. Any experience with Albania? Yeah, she was one of the tiny minority of Amsterdam window ladies who tried to rip me off. Nearly all the others were as good as gold, but she wasn't. That's my experience with Albania. Okay, it's time for squeaky door time. Squeaky door. I'm going to come back with a question, big question soon. Wow. Have you ever noticed that, when the temperature starts dropping a little as you're going towards autumn, you start peeing a bit more? It's because, once the cold, it's not cold, but, once the temperature drops, you start because, you're less likely to sweat it out. Just the way it seems to me, anyway. Let's see. Who's this? David Coleman. I would never get on a cruise ship. That's where all this pandemic stuff happened in the first place. Yeah, that's right. Mark Oleg, agree. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd love to see them because they just look like I'd love to step on one because I've never been on one, and I would just love to walk around and it just look like amazing things to me. They just look like amazing. Okay, so who's this? Oh, James to go. What's happened to it now then? Okay. Paul Hoskins been on a ferry, so have I. I come from Liverpool, don't forget. Mark Oleg, the Titanic 2 cruise ship is being finished possibly by the end of the year. Somebody said to me recently that nowadays, if you put the old Titanic alongside some of these massive cruise ships, it would actually look quite small in comparison. Okay, so anyway, we're going to do a big question now. It's time for the big question. Okay, the big question. Now, this is fun. It's not doom and gloom like last night. The one we're not going to talk about doomy, gloomy stuff. This is quite fun, this one. Quite fun, this one. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's see. Oh, no, we put this in block capitals. Okay, so there we go. This could be a better way of phrasing this question. Okay, but okay. Now I tell you what this question's about. Okay, here's a bit of a clue. There you go. Wow. Now this handsome young devil in the middle here is being cuddled and pampered by a couple of Wongas. Yes. This is the country called Gambia. And basically, Gambia is one of those places where these old biddies, these old divorcees, 60-year-olds, old women, whatever, lusty old biddies like to go because they get pampered by the young Gambian men. And these old ladies, have a lot of fun with the Gambia is often referred to as Granbia, but because they love going there, and these young men who don't have a lot going for them financially see these old ladies as a meal ticket, whereas these old ladies see them as a young, healthy piece of pork sausage. You know what I mean? So the question is. Oh, no, let me just explain. All of a sudden, the Gambian authorities are trying to clamp down on this female tourism because they want their country to be full of tourists who come for other things, for the landscape, the wildlife, all the other stuff, the beach and all this. They want to stop it being seen as a place for old biddies to come there and lusty old biddies and get pampered by these young gigolos. So they're trying to put an end to it, the authorities. So the question is it the end for Wongas in Gambia? Yes. Okay, now the reason I call them Wongas is because men who go to Thailand and places like that are often called Mongas. So that's the masculine word. So I think it's only fair to call them Wongas, the feminine equivalent. So what do you think, guys? What do you think? Let's see. Lee James, they love it. Let's see. Mark Oleg, 6 for each of them. Okay. Who's that? Ichigo. Is that Lisa on the left? Yeah, probably, yeah. Ed Ventures, there's something on the chin, 3rd one down. Martin Ryder, genuine Gambian snake, okay. Pinball, I thought the one in the middle was a woman. No. But Clive, yes. Yours travels, they're the same as the 50 to 70-year-old desperate guys in Battalion. Yeah, that's probably fair comment. Probably the same, no difference. Paul Hoskin, I'm off to Gambia. Yeah, Mark, I see more power about it. Absolutely, absolutely. Now, this is basically what I say. I am a broad-minded man. Now, I'm honest. And I've been a little bit too honest in some of my, older videos. Older guys love to go to countries like Thailand and Cambodia because they want to have rumpy pumpy with a lovely, hot young thing of maybe 25, 30 years of age, whatever. Guys love doing that. It's a sensual thing. As long as they're all adults, they're all consenting, then that's fine by me. I don't see a problem. But women, they also like doing it. They go to Gambia, they go to Turkey, they go to Tunisia, Egypt, I believe, is another place. These old biddies will go anywhere where they're going to get pampered and have a bit of rumpy pump, and they do have the rumpy bumpy. There make no question about it. So good for them, good for them. But the Gambian authorities, I think, and I've never actually been to Gambia. I've been to some of those other countries, but I've never actually been to Gambia. But I have heard that it's a bit of an extreme. It's a bit of an extreme case. And it is another picture. Oh my God! Oh my, that's bloody sickening. That is sickening. That is sickening. That is sickening. Let's see. David Coleman, Wongas, let them have fun. Okay, absolutely. As long as they're not doing anyone any harm. And I don't think they harm. Gemini Star, it's just a beginning, okay? Who's that? Experienced Bangkok, coming to Gambia. Okay, fine. I am still one of my best shags was a Wonga, okay? Martin Ryder, how can they police it? Well, they do have ways, They do have ways because, I mean, in Cuba, like in Cuba, for example, when I was there, many years ago, you've got to be careful going with the young girls there because those girls will get stopped by the police, and if the police can arrest those young girls. If you've got a younger Cuban girlfriend, the police can arrest them and throw them into prison. If they think there's any payment going on between them. So those girls have got to be really, really careful. And the thing is, you say, how can you police it? Well, look at that picture there. If that's a young gigolo, a young local gigolo going with a decrepit old cow like that, they could send out police. I mean, and the police could well stop them, ask them a lot of questions, and if the police feel suspicious, he could be in trouble. And so they do have ways of policing it. David Eisenberg, Lisa will find a way to get there. She's probably there now. Barry KFC, the Wongas will find another spot to get Rogers. They probably will. They probably will. But like I say, I think Gambia, the more I hear, I think it's not the same as other countries like Turkey or Tunisia. Because I think there now, I'm going to read out some. I'm going to take that bloody awful picture down because that's making me sick. That's making me sick. That's making me sick. Okay, so listen, I've got to read out a couple of things here. Okay, here we go. Now this is what I said. This I read. I can't remember where I read it. Brit grannies told to stop holidaying in Gambia and look for toy boys elsewhere. Okay, it's like that sign they used to put up in certain cities. Curb crawl in your own area, not ours. The country was once described as a real-life Tinder dream for geriatrics, but now the government is considering introducing laws that give police powers to arrest local beach boys. So yes, so some of those local beach boys could be arrested. Gambia is clamping down on British grannies flocking to the country, searching for toy boys, and is desperate for quality tourists to visit the country. The tiny West African nation has been a haven for older women seeking a lover or partner for many years, but the country is now sick of its reputation as a sex hotspot for mature women from Britain and Europe. Okay, fair enough, it's their country. What we want is quality tourists that come to enjoy the country and the culture, but not tourists that come just for Rumpy Pumpy. Abu Kar Kamara, director of the Gambian Tourist Board, said, sex tourism in the nation has been booming since the 1990s when budget package tours to the former British colony became popular. I'm going to put another picture up here. Oh my God! No, this is a romantic picture. Just look at this. Oh, don't they look like a delightful couple? Imagine them, running towards each other on the beach, and he swoops her up, this delightful old Betty, in his arms. Oh, what a lovely photograph. One pensioner said the country was paradise because you can have a different man every night. The dirty old Betties. 2 years ago, there was a documentary called on the beach, Rumpy Bumpy on the beach, which shocked viewers. A reporter found bars packed full of elderly white women in search of young Gambian men. One pensioner told the reporter that the country was paradise because you can have a different man every night. Dirty, dirty, dirty old women. Dirty old women. Jesus Christ almighty. If you were my grandmother, I'd be ashamed of you. One Twitter user said, this Rumpy Pumpy on the Beach program is so disturbing. Old white women preying on poor Gambian men for Rumpy Pumpy. How ugly is that? Oh, well. I don't know. Is anyone getting hurt? Is anyone really, really, really getting hurt? But the tourist board don't like it. They don't like it. Yeah. David Coleman, I banged a few Wongas. Okay, good for you, mate. Capo, Wongas will pay to be put in the men's jail. Let's see, Mark Ollie. They wangered around on the prowl. It's not the end. They'll find somewhere else. Gemini Star, Gambian police are in on the action. Andrew Hammond, how is Gambia going to police this? Like you say, if it's a young, healthy, virile young Gambian man, but a dirty, flabby old trollop old enough to be his grandmother, then there's probably something suspicious about that. Steve Taylor, no different than old men going to Thailand. Okay. I'm not going to argue. Ken Christopherson, it's okay to live your life where we do. Okay. Apparently, another country, which I didn't know, I've been to Bali, but apparently Bali's like that. It's apparently you do get women who go to Bali for the young men. I didn't know that. But isn't it strange though? Thailand it's strange because in Thailand you get older fellas who go out there for the young ladies, yes. But you don't get old women who go to Thailand for the young men. I mean, I've never really seen much evidence of that. Not really. Maybe other nationalities might go there for the young Thai men. But it seems like, the young Thai men have a bit of a hard time, don't they? They're not as popular, I don't know why that is. Shaggy Rogers. Wongas will adapt and find other places for the sausage. Absolutely. Let's see. Chucksy, I heard about these elusive Wongas. However, they're not that elusive, mate. I used to have a place in Turkey, and I spent a lot of time there. They're not that, believe me. Have you ever sat at an expat bar in Turkey, and with a table nearby with a bunch of 60-something English women sitting at that table, and they're discussing the young Turkish blokes and what they did the night before. Oh, did he have a big one? Oh, they're bloody disgusting. They're the Western rugby players they are. Martin Ryder, it's unpoliceable, okay? Iron Till, bad move by Torque, but will it spread? Will it spread to other places? Maybe, there's rumours that Thailand, want to clamp down on the same thing, really. I don't think it's happened yet, but I mean, all of these countries seem to say that they want to attract tourists for the right reasons and not the wrong ones. Martin Blunston, no, they will still go and good luck to them. Everyone should have some fun. Here, absolutely. Pinball, it's up to them so long as they drop their hypocrisy over guys doing the same. Yeah, absolutely. Ed Ventures, I'm booking a flight to Gambia for me, missus. Okay. Delboy K, good for those ladies. David Coleman, I saw a lot of Wongas in Jamaica. Who's that? Ben Dover, just triple the bar fan. Is there anything else that I put on there? Anything else? Let me see. Anything else? I think those are the ones that. But there's one report that I heard about. There's the interviewed. There's this old lady with and she was going upstairs with her Zimmer frame, and a young muscular gigolo was out. Oh Jesus! Oh my God Almighty! Paul Hoskin, I was watching the Wonga Beach volleyball team in their bikinis. Oh, yuck. Alan Hayes, love a Wonga, the fatter the better. It's like being on a trampoline. Okay, each to their own, mate. Boo-hoo. Wongas are coming for the wildlife. Yeah, okay, of course. And of course, we go to Thailand for the temples, of course. There we go. Yogi Bear. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. Guys do it, girls do it. It's what they make it out that guys are wrong. That gets me. Okay. I'm each to their own. As long as no one's getting harmed. I mean, those young men. I mean, they're obviously very, very poor, and they want to make money, and the women like them, and they like the women's money, and hopefully get a passport out of it, and all the rest of it. As long as no one's really, really getting hurt. I mean, I wouldn't like to do it. I wouldn't like to be a young man, poor, and thinking to myself, the only way I'm going to get any money is by going to bed with a dirty, sloppy, saggy old biddy whose fanny is as wide as the Mersey Tunnel. Yeah, I wouldn't like to do that, but I mean, work, isn't it? I mean, people do lots of jobs, ordinary menial jobs that they don't want to do, but they do it to earn money. That's the way life is. You know what I mean? Let me see. Okay. Mark, I'll talk about handles. I couldn't handle one of those bloody Wongas. I know that. Lee James, they go there to see the elephants. Apparently, like it's this. I don't think Gambia is a real hotspot for wildlife and all of that, but I don't think it's really, really good. But I mean, elephants. I can see elephants at the zoo. Tom Easton, but why isn't sickening? You see 60 and 70 trying to snake 20-year-old Thai birds. Okay. Sean Moore, the Gambian lads known as bumpsters, their nickname when hunting for white women on the beach. I mean, I'd call them Captain Ahab, personally, with a big harpoon, like Moby Dick. Good question. Adventures around the world. How did he get it up? I wouldn't. Shaggy Rogers. Does Gambia have its own version of Soy 6 for the Wongas with guys out front and ST? It wouldn't surprise me, mate. Wouldn't surprise me. Mark Olive, whatever floats your boat, mate. Okay. Yours travel. To be fair, the 18 months I've been single, I've had some fun nights with 50 to 60-year-olds of Tinder and Badoo apps in the UK. Well, good for you, mate. I don't use stuff like that personally, maybe because it's not what I'm used to, but good for you. But it's not just Gambia. There's also other countries as well. I mean, Turkey's a place. The fellas have got a charm over the women, there. But I mean, I used to know, an old biddy quite well, through work, and her friend, and these were like women well into the 60s, but they dressed really, really well, very, very stylish, like young women. They had, tans, and they looked after themselves, and they love going out to Turkey. They love going. They didn't know I had a place out there, And I knew that country really well, but they used to tell me that, we're going out to Turkey. And I chatted to one of these women once and I said, are you going on your holiday to Turkey this year? She said, well, actually, me and my friend are thinking of going somewhere different this year, but we'll probably end up in Turkey. And her exact words were, because we know what we're all about there. I couldn't help thinking, yeah, I know what you're all about as well, Mrs. But I'm not going to say. Okay. Mark Alec, he's just down an 11. Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Okay. It's okay. Let's see. Okay, AJ, it's going to be depressing Wednesday, and I can't wait for your vlogs. The south. Well, okay, I can't wait to be out there as well. But it's not just Gambia. Okay, I mean it's also places like Tunisia and Egypt. One of my favourite ones. I've seen a couple of documentaries. Was this old lady here? She was about, can't remember her name. She was about 70 or maybe 73. Some of them put her. And she went out to Tunisia and she actually married him, a 21-year-old Tunisian waiter. Now, I've seen this old lady on a documentary, and she actually comes across as a really, really nice old lady, the kind of person that you'd want for a neighbor. Really, really nice old lady. So she went out there and she even met his family. She married him. And there's another picture there of the loving couple there. She was, some put was 7. It's probably older than that now, but some put as old as 77, and he was 21. But it was a real genuine marriage, love and relationship. But I think the problems is that he wanted children, which obviously she couldn't give him at his age. But I do remember seeing her being interviewed about this, and like she said, he wanted children, which I couldn't give him. Oh, but we tried. We tried. Oh, yeah. We had plenty of fun trying anyway. But I'm absolutely not against it. As long as nobody's getting in, as long as he looks after her, whatever. And at that age, this old lady seemed to be happy with that. But obviously, it broke up simply because he wanted children. She couldn't do that for him. But she actually come across, was a really, 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 really nice old lady, So I've nothing against him. I've really, really nothing against him at all. Simon Depp, please could stop him and demand he takes an eye test. Yeah, absolutely. Who's that? Delboy. I've seen worse pictures of decrepit old guys with young Thai ladies. Yeah, I have as well. David Mayer, Ed, I cannot see that picture blinded me. Okay. Mark Ollie, Eddie going to play some vintage 70s adult videos for us. No, I think I'd lose my YouTube channel. I like stuff like that because the women are nice and hairy. I like all of that. Chokesy, this may come across as rude. However, why are you so disgusted by BBW women giving you exactly whatever, given you're not exactly thin yourself? I figured out you would want to pair up with the same obese women and my fetish. I don't want the female equivalent of me, and I don't make any secrets about it. Okay. Yogi Bear, many young males in Gambia are blinded of white sticks. Okay. So anyway, salmon eyes, unless you taste it, you'll never know if it's clean. I guess I'd shoot my mother. Okay, so basically, I mean, the Wongas, I think they're resilient. They'll find somewhere else. But I think Gambia's a little teensy-weensy bit in a place. I think a lot of them will be put off by the reports because it's not just one report. I mean, it's quite a common report these days. I mean, there's enough being written about it, the fact that they don't want the Wongas there anymore. So I think it will make a difference, but they'll find somewhere else. I think, if Gambia goes down the pan, it'll be boom time it'll be springtime for Tunisia and Turkey once again. Yeah, that's a good point, Mark. They can't collect any taxes is why they don't like it. Hey, that's a good point, mate. That's a good point. David Coleman, it's all BS. These countries will go broke without us. Who's this? Martin Ryder. Those volunteers at Dover called Care for Calais are old scrubbers. The volunteers at Dover called Care for Calais are old scrubbers looking for Albanian sausage. Well said, Martin. Well said. My sentiments exactly, okay? Okay, so Dickie B. I'm going to have to look at this on the news later. Dickie B. Mikhail Gorbachev has died, a great man, R.A.P. Okay. This has happened basically just before I went live, so I don't really know too much about it. Paul Oscar, what would the cost of heating your home? The Wongas could spend 6 months in Gambia and save money. Okay, sounds good to me. Martin Ryder, they tricked these Wongas into sending all their life savings. Oh, yeah. There have been some terrible, terrible cases. There have been some terrible cases where, these gigolos have tricked these old ladies. But that's because these old ladies are a bit stupid. The same way old men are a bit stupid. I mean, there's enough cases of old men bringing Thai girls back to England, and 5 minutes later, the Thai girl is gone astray. You know what I mean? It happens. It happens. I mean, at their age, it's hard to feel sympathy for them, like, because at their age, if you're not wise by that age, you never will be. Okay. David Coleman, the Wongas take their tops off on the beach here in Toronto. Said, ooh, yuck. Yours travels. Yes, the women you go with think the same. Do you actually think they want to sleep with Western guys 50 to 70? It's all for the money. Good comment, mate. Good comment. Martin Ryder, budget airlines in India have very cheap flights to Bangkok. They never spend, well, there's different subject. They never spend any money when they get there and want everything for free. Okay. So I think we've Sandra Taylor. I'm guessing in Gambia, you don't have to guess if it's a man. Yeah, okay, fine. Fair comment, Sandra. Who's this? Andrew Hammond. Saggy old beef curtains may be worth a try. Okay, so we're going to go on to another question now. Anyway, I mean, I think that I think really. Let me just get rid of that one there. I think really the Wongas. I mean, they've had the fun. So sometimes all good things come to an end. I mean, if the authorities start getting a bit shitty with them, then they'll go somewhere else. But I think they might find that place hard to. But I think the nearest place is Turkey, because when I've seen documentaries where these women are going down a bar street in Kusadasi or whatever, and they're layering at the young men with the tops off them out. Dirty old women, dirty old Wongas. But as long as nobody gets hurt, as long as they're all adults and everyone knows what they're doing. Okay. So anyway, that's that one. Is it the end for Wongas in Gambia? Maybe, but they will return somewhere else. Okay. So let's see. Now this is a question sent in by which somebody mentioned before. It's a question. A big question, yes, mentioned by Yogi Bear, who's often in the chat. I think he's here tonight. I believe he's here tonight. He mentioned a question here. So let's get this one up. Let's get this up. Okay. And his question was, let's get up there. Okay, and I'll actually put two questions to this one. But this is Yogi Bear's question, yes. So full credit to him, okay. And this question centers around this lovely lady here. She's a good-looking girl, isn't she? She's a good. I like Meghan. I really like Meghan. I really like Meghan. And I must admit, when she got married to Harry, I mean, I'm not the romantic type, but I must admit, during that summer, I've seen some of it live on TV, And but you know, my heart flows. I mean, so romantic, and I like Harry. I like Harry. I think Harry's cool, and you know, but Meghan is, you know, it's all kind of gone pear-shaped. They're a lovely couple, then it's all kind of gone pear-shaped, and they're still very, very much together. But sure, you don't need me to tell you what's happened over the last few years. They've made enemies out of a lot of people. They've gone AWOL, and anyway, the question from Yogi Bear is the question: is Meghan an attention seeker? Okay, is she an attention seeker? What do you think, guys? What do you think? What do you think? Yeah, it is Yogi Bear. Okay, Yogi Bear's there. Many Wongas have sung that many young bar girls don't have a belly button between the nipples. Okay, so let's see. Yogi Bear, is Meghan an attention seeker? Okay, that is Yogi Bear's question. Pinball says yes. Liz Truss is a narcissist. Yeah, Liz Truss, horrible woman. Yeah, you talking about her or you? Okay. Clive says, I'd do it. I wouldn't say no, either. Ed ventures around the world. Oh, hell no, not Meghan. Yours travels. Imagine them lips around you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I can imagine that. Absolutely. There we go. Ed ventures around the world. Pretty, but attitude ruins here. The same can be said about a lot of women. Liz Truss, no one has a go at Queen Lizzie. Meghan can stay in America. Oh, that's very, very decisive, yeah. McLaren F1, right? I'm not going to read that one out, but thanks anyway. Let's see. Gemini Star, Meghan Markle is 41 years old. See, I think she's older than Harry, isn't she? And she's older. Was she married before? Is she a divorcee? I don't know. But I mean, she was in a program. What was it called? Was it called Suits? And I've seen her interviewed on a show, one of those chat shows, you know, with this smarmy host is interviewing her. And she was in a little short, little red dress with her legs, and I don't blame Harry for, you know, looking at her and thinking, wow, that's the woman I want. Gorgeous woman, gorgeous woman. Pinball, Meghan is paranoid and attention seeker. Carefully, I think she sued somebody for saying that, didn't she? David Mayer, they're all attention seekers. Ross says yes. Capo, Capo, yeah, very calculating. Okay, Ed ventured down the world. Out there a big question. It's like saying, is the sky blue? Okay, we've got another. All right, another question. Okay, another question. Okay, another question along those lines. I think, you know, majority says yes. There's Meghan. Now this is probably presumably before she married Harry, but she was in a red dress. But I've seen her when she's sitting in a chair and, like, you know, I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say no. Let's get that off the screen before YouTube don't like it. Okay, publicity seeker. Okay, Alison Taylor. Okay, David Coleman. I'm not going to put that on the screen. Lee James, she's done really well for herself. Good luck to her. Okay, good luck to her. Gemini Star. Meghan is a family wrecker. Michael Gianais, she's not good looking at all. Oh, come on. He's the role, mate. I wouldn't bloody say no. David Coleman, they need to put a stop to the royal family right from the bottom. All right, we'll talk about that some other time. Paul Hoskin, Prince Charles misses. She's fit. Okay, so you found Rottweilers sexy, do you then, Paul? Pocano, yeah. Yes, from a C-list actress to princess, not too bad. I mean, the thing about Meghan, I mean, you know, I haven't really followed too much, but I know, like, she's done this opera where they fell out with the royal family, and she's led Harry back to America. Obviously, because she probably didn't want to stay in London or in Britain, and maybe she didn't get on well with other members. Maybe there was a bit of conflict between her and Kate or whatever. And of course, there's also the other thing, isn't it? There's also the other thing. You know, I never ever thought Harry would fall out with his brother William. I always thought the two of them were inseparable. I don't know. How can I phrase this? Perhaps they're not full brothers. Perhaps they're half brothers. If you know what I mean. Yeah. Okay, if you kind of know what I mean, okay, I think you know what I mean. But I didn't think Harry would fall out with William, but it seems to me that they have. Chavez, I believe she's a daddy's girl, okay. David Coleman, she was a princess for God's sake. She had it made. She should have just kept her mouth. Yeah, I mean, this is the way I see it. I see it this way. I don't have much sympathy for people who are rich and famous and have all those kind of luxuries that the rest of us can only dream about. It's hard to understand why they got problems. I mean, I don't really have a great deal of say. I mean, they're not going to. I'm pretty sure Meghan and Harry, wherever they are now, or the rest of the royal family, I'm pretty sure they're not going to be worried about the gas bills and the electricity bills this winter time. You know what I mean? Gemini star Prince Harry is 37 years old. Okay. Paul Farey. Okay, there you go. That's your opinion here. David Coleman, the two of them were living in Vancouver and they wanted the Canadian government to pay for their whole lifestyle. Really? They're cheeky bastards. Cheeky bastards. Jesus. Capo 17, Diana wouldn't have trusted. Diana's a fine one to trust, isn't she? Yeah. Diana's having a bit of rumpy pumpy while she was married. But then again, her husband was as well. None of them are bloody trustworthy. Barry KFC, Meghan is quality. I like Meghan. Yeah. Okay. David Coleman, we kicked him out of Canada. People would not stand for it. Okay. Ichigo, this is no different to Vardy versus Rooney Wag, but don't even mention that. Football, all that bloody. I said this about you, and you said, oh, well, don't even mention all that bollocks to me. Mark Hollig, nice. Mark Hollig likes it. Mark Hollig says yes. She's an attention seeker, but she's nice. Okay. Let's see. Spits energy. She's brainwashed the poor lad. Okay, whatever. I like that. I like that. Yeah, Mark, wearing that she is. Okay, I'll put that picture up there again. Okay, lovely. Yeah, absolutely hot. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't say no. Okay, so let's see. S Travels 4K, not white material. She has wrecked the royal family, just like the women of today. Okay, I mean the royal don't we just love to hate the royal family? Come on, if the royal family were all perfect and they were all dignified, wouldn't it be bloody boring? Go on, you say you hate Fergie, you hate Meghan, but who doesn't love a good scandal? Who doesn't howl with laughter when you pick up the newspaper and you see the headline, Fergie, I haven't got a pot to piss in. It makes for good reading. It's fun. Clive says, who would want to stay in Britain? Okay, fair enough. David Mayer, are they full brothers? No comment. Ed Ventures, breaking news. Prince Harry spotted aboard the flight to Gambia. Okay. David Coleman, okay. That's a little teensy. I have no use for any. We should just cut up all that. Oh, that's a bit teensy, weensy, bit extreme, that isn't it? Well, what did Charles Autry say when he's got his head in the guillotine and Carry On, France or whatever it was called. He's got his head in the guillotine, and somebody says to him, he's got a letter for you there, sir. He says, I'll just pop it in the basket. I'll read it later. Okay, whatever. Sandra Taylor, you mean Hewitt? Okay, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think we all know what we're talking about there. I still think that Harry has got the features of Charles. I do think that he's got the other people are convinced otherwise. Capo, she bullied Pallistaff, was swept under the carpet. Okay. Well, she wouldn't be the first one. She wouldn't be the first good-looking woman to be a bitch. I've met plenty of them. We've never ever met any good-looking women. Thought she's really good-looking, but what a bitch. I mean, it's not unusual about that, mate. Not unusual. Okay, now this goes with. I'm going to thank you for that, Yogi Bear, for that question. Simon Eyes 41. It'll all end in tears. She's manipulative. Google what she asked her friends to find it. A rich man or a prince, all proven. The lad's lost. You can see in the face how lost he is. Okay, so I'm going to ask another part 2 of this question. Okay, part 2 of this question. The question is, excuse me. Okay. Here's a question here. Here's a question here for you. Here's a question. And here's a picture here. Picture, they're lovely. I liked Harry and William. I think Harry and William were a massive, massive improvement on the generation of royals that came before. When you think of knobheads like Andrew and Edward, Harry and William were a massive improvement on them, I think. But anyway, let's get rid of that banner in a moment. Let's get rid of that banner. Okay, hide that banner. We're going to put this one up, yeah? Okay, so part 2 of this question is the simple question. Meghan and Harry, no, they've been married for a while. I mean, she was only married 5 minutes before she was telling a terrible story to Oprah Winfrey about how she was badly. For Christ's sake, they were only married for 5 minutes before it all started falling apart. But they're still together. They are still together. I think they've got a kid. They've got 2 kids, or they've got 1 kid, or something like that. But the big question is, Harry and Meghan, will it last? Okay, who thinks that their marriage is going to last, and who thinks sooner or later it's all going to go down the pan? Let's see. Simon Eyes 41 thinks it's not going to last. Who's this? Clive says, "Well, the daddy, Barry, please stand up. Please stand up." Okay. Gemini Star, his brother's lost all his hair. Okay. Bernard Purcell says no. Sandra Taylor says no. Clive says Prince Harry paid a lot more for his escort. Okay, yeah, millions. David Heisenberg, no way. Okay. Gemini Star, no. Sean Moore, it will go tits up. It hasn't yet. I mean, for all that they've been through, is it about 5 years now they've been married? I think it's about 5 years, isn't it? Something like that. So it is like, and they've got a kid, but everyone seems to think no. Yogi Bear, Harry is very much like his mother. He has a heart, and we'll all end in tears and him coming home. Yeah, I'd say that, to be honest. Yeah, I think he will. I think he'll come back to England. Pinball says no, it won't last. Alistair Taylor says, who cares? I care. I'm a caring kind of guy. Martin Blunston, no way, it will all end in tears. Barry KFC, no, it won't last. Ken Christophs, do they have money? They probably do it, but I mean, do you not get the feeling that she's a woman of expensive tastes? Do you not get that feeling? Capo 17, no, but only if the money runs out. Oh, they'll find a way to make money. There's enough mugs who buy Hello magazine, and you can, okay, and all that. You can always make a deal. Esau man. Okay, let's see. Yours Travels. I met Harry in the Win in Las Vegas. Great lad. He was pissed over here. Great guy. I like Harry. Sam, I spit it, but I'm not making. But I feel with this situation, I can still say to her, okay. Clive, no comments on lasting marriages with me just now, Ed. Okay. Isan man. Okay, you can read that. You can read his comment there, yeah. Lee James, she's the first one. He's just got a bit of ginger hair on the side. Okay. David Coleman, they're all inbred anyway. Okay, fine and dandy. Okay, so the consensus is that it's 2 questions there. Is Meghan an attention seeker? The overwhelming consensus is yes. Harry and Meghan, will it last? The overwhelming consensus will be that it won't last. Okay, okay. Paul Hoskin, he could be king one day. Yeah, only if he, he's got a lot of others to get rid of. First of all, Okay, so anyway, so that's what it is. We've had a couple of big questions tonight. Thank you for your input. So I'm going to finish off. I want to finish off tonight anyway. These little live streams seem to be going well. Anyway, last night's one went well. Tonight's going well. A couple of big questions. I'm going to finish off with a couple of film reviews, okay? All light-hearted stuff tonight. Light-hearted stuff. Lovely jubbly. Okay, so okay. Simon House. When Ali said what Megan wants, Megan gets, I knew he was tuned. She had that Beverly Tube piano, poor lad. Okay. As someone said here on here already, Ali is lost. He wants to be doing things and he can't as he did. Okay, fine. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So I'm going to do a couple of film reviews to finish off with. Now, if you've got Netflix and Amazon late at night, as I said before, it can take you about bloody half an hour to, scan through things. Can I enjoy that? Will I enjoy that or whatever? Shall I give that a try? So that's what we're here for, to do a few, movie reviews to save you time anyway. So there's a movie knocking around Amazon right now. And I haven't really seen any reviews because there was no reviews on Amazon, right? No reviews on Amazon, but it's a movie, a brand new, I think it's made by Amazon, and it's got Sylvester Stallone in it, and it's called Samaritan, yes? I watched this the other night, okay? Let me get a couple of these items out the way. A couple of these items, yes. A couple of those items, we move those, yeah, okay. So this film stars it's a brand new movie. It stars a very, very aging Sylvester Stallone as he's a garbage, he's a garbage man in a garbage worker in a very, very rundown area of New York. Yes, okay. But there's a young lad in this movie, and I'll try and get the young lad up. Who's this young lad? Let's see. Where are you? Let's see. There's a young lad in this movie, and he is actually, I don't know the name of the actor, but he's supposed to be a 13-year-old boy, and the story is told through his eyes. And basically what it is, there's a lot of like gang culture and gang violence, and this young lad gets involved with gangs in this New York neighborhood. And basically, the story is told through his eyes. But things go pear-shaped, things are very, very nasty. It gets involved with a lot of nasty people. And really, the plot is that he becomes convinced when Sylvester Stallone, this old man who works for the garbage company, when he sees him performing in superhuman ways, he's convinced. He is convinced that Sylvester Stallone, this is a mythical warrior. It was presumed to be dead, but a mythical warrior called a Samaritan who was battling his brother called Nemesis. And it's a superhero element to it. The problem with this movie is that it's not entirely satisfying because the characters are not really that well developed. The superhero element of it it's not really that well developed. Sylvester Stallone is a garbage man. He used to be, a superhero. He killed his brother and it was a bad guy and all of this. He's now looking after this young boy who's got involved with all of these with all of these gangs. It's not entirely because it's a little bit bland. Now, this young lad, personally, I like movies with adults in. I watch it because it's Sylvester Stallone. It's got to have some quality. This young lad plays the part of a 13-year-old boy, the good guy who gets involved with gangs. Now, usually when there's a young kid at the center of a movie, I think, I used to think this kid's going to annoy me somehow. But this young lad, he's probably, I don't know if he's 13 or what, but he does play a really, 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 really good part. He's plays a good part, but it's not an entirely satisfactory movie. A lot of the violence, the action, it's kind of like Tom and Jerry, really. I mean, there's a lot of throwing around and all this kind of stuff. There's plenty of action between Stallone and the gangs, but it's kind of like, it's not really explicit. It's more like Tom and Jerry kind of violence. And like I say, you can understand why the young lad is obsessed with Sylvester Stallone, but the superhero element isn't really satisfactorily developed. Let's see. Lee James, that kid needs knocking out, to be honest. No, he's good. He's good. He's good. He's good. He's a good. He plays a good part in it. David Coleman, I've never watched anything with this. Has been broken down actor in it, really. He does play a good part, Stallone. He plays a very, very cool part. But I think his character is not really developed very, very well. Yogi Bear, Sly's movies, the older he gets, the better they seem to get. But I've not seen this, and we'll catch it on film 4. Okay, it's worth a look, but just don't expect anything really spectacular. It's a little bit dull, really. I thought it was a little bit dull, this movie. Gemini Star, Sylvester Stallone is 76 years old. He's still probably fitter than I am. Mark Hollick, Stallone is an excellent actor. I like Stallone. I like him. I mean, I like Stallone, even when he was, when he burst on the scene with Rocky. The story of him, like, refusing to let another actor play Rocky when he wrote the script. And he refused to let another actor, and then he, played it himself and he become a superstar. What put a lot of people, he went on so many chat shows, Sylvester Stallone, and he started getting on a lot of people's nerves. I remember Barry Norman, the British film critic, said of Sylvester Stallone when he met him, he said, I liked him a lot, but not nearly as much as he did. Barry Norman was very, very critical of Sylvester Stallone, but I like him. I think he's great. Capo, thought the Binman were on strike. Okay. David Coleman, I'm 64, just okay. Let me see. Ken Gustafson, as long as it's in a boxing film, it isn't. It isn't, but it's not a bad movie, this, Samantha. It's not bad, but just don't expect miracles from it for the budget. Obviously, someone like Sylvester Stallone doesn't come cheap, but it just doesn't. It doesn't ignite the way that you feel that the film does. Marco, everyone is entitled to their opinion. Okay. Steve Taylor, only thing I've seen with Sly Stallone in it was a Warburton. Yeah, I was surprised to see that. I mean, I've loved Warburtons for about 40 years. I love Warburtons bread. And with Stallone's perfectly tuned physique, I was surprised. I wouldn't expect Sylvester Stallone to be eating bread or Warburtons or whatever. Okay, let's see. Mark Holland, whatever makes your life worthwhile. Absolutely, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so who's that? Shaggy Rogers. Watched it last night, thought it was good. Okay. I'm not saying it isn't good, but it's nothing spectacular, really. Not really spectacular. Lee James, First Blood was excellent. I thought that was excellent. I think the Rambo movies went down a little teensy weensy after. Simon Eyes 41, Rambo, First Blood, one of Stallone's finest films. I'll check out Samaritan. Okay, so David Coleman, the only good one was the first one. I think that can be said really about Rocky and the other one. So anyway, so that is that movie Samaritan. Okay, so another movie which I watched recently. This is the second one. Which now, unfortunately, we're going to finish off with this one anyway. What have we got here? So I've been watching. I like a good, violent thriller. I like a good violent thriller, but I haven't really seen too many of them recently. Maybe I've seen all the ones that I like. So I thought I'd watch something different. And the other night I watched this. There you go. Tom Cruise in The Mummy. Now this is only about 5 years old. This film. Now Tom Cruise You know, absolute superstar. He's not my favourite. I mean, he's very, very charismatic. He's very good looking. He's probably not a bad actor, but he's got star quality. But when he's in action, he's not my ideal action hero, I must admit. But this is not a bad movie, this. I think there's other versions of The Mummy. This is an action movie. It's a bit slapstick. It's a bit over the top. But I actually enjoyed this movie. I actually really, really enjoyed it. Okay, Mark Oleg, yes. Okay, Chugsy, David Corbett, agree. Not sure what we're talking about there. Anyway, but this movie, obviously, it's a film about the mummy. You know, it's Tom Cruise and his partner. They stumble across relics in Iraq. You know, ancient relics, and they unearth them. They get brought back on a plane. A lot of the film takes place in London. And it's not a bad movie. It is what it is. It's a star vehicle for Tom Cruise. It's not my favourite action, but this is actually a very, very watchable film. It's a little teensy-weensy with a bit brain dead, like the other movie we just discussed. It's late night and it's kind of brain dead, but it's actually quite fun, really. Who's this? Chugsy, Scientology freak, yeah. Lee James, he's about 5'2". This is what I do. You know, I can't really stomach about Tom Cruise. He's a good guy, but when you see him knocking around, you know, knocking out half a dozen, you know, big bad mobsters, I think, oh, come on, mate. We all know you're about as big as Ronnie Corbett. Mark Oleg, I watched Cruise in the 2022 movie Top Gun Maverick. I was surprised on how much I liked it. I want to see that movie. I do want to see that. I do want to see it. Gemini star Tom Cruise, 60 years old. Okay. Yosh Travels, I enjoyed this one. Okay, good for you. Good for you. So this movie called The Mummy, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's nothing special. It's a bit brain dead, you know. But it's quite spectacular in its own way. No, where are we now? Where are we now? Let's get this other one. There you go. And it's also got this actress in here who's very good. I think she's an English actress. I think she's been in things like, I think she in Peaky Blinders. I thought that was a bit of a depressing. I thought that was a bit of a depressing movie, but she plays a really good part. It's not like you know the most intellectual movie. It's got some pretty good special effects. It's enjoyable. It's quite spectacular. It's got lovely location. It's really the perfect thing to watch very, very late at night. You know, it doesn't require a great deal of you know, brain power. Let's see, McLaren F1 race. The opening cinematography and music of the original Top Gun is epic. One of the best starts to a film ever. Was the Highway to the Danger Zone? Let me see. Capo 17, Risky Biz was the only film he didn't play Tom Cruise. Rebecca De Mornay, yummy. Rusty Led, nice to have you, mate. Cruise playing a 6'4" Jack Reacher was a stretch. Okay. Someone here said, Tom Easton said, Samaritan was an absolute shite film, worst Stallone movie ever. I wouldn't say that, but it definitely wasn't one of his best. But this movie we're talking about here, it's called The Mummy. There's not really much to say about it, really, except for nice special effects. Doesn't require a great deal of brain power. Tom Cruise plays a good part. That lovely actors I just showed you. And also the actors who plays the mummy, the way that's done, that's pretty good as well. The effects of it. It's not a nail-biting movie. It's basically a brain-dead movie. Just sit back with a couple of beers late at night and think, this is spectacular stuff. You know, and that's about it, really. David Mayer, I like depressing films. Makes you feel better about your life. I used to like stuff like that, but late at night, I want something a little bit teensy-weensy, bit brain dead. David Coleman, I liked him in Mummy, but I love anything about Egypt. Okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, David Coleman, she was really a freaky mummy kind of. Yeah, she was. The actors, I can't remember the name of the actors who played. I've got a picture of it, who actually played the mummy. But she looked, yeah, exactly what you say, kind of freaky, but hot. If you like sort of tattoos and all that kind of stuff. Mark Oliver, Cruz is 5'7". Okay. Alistair Taylor, I love Mummy and Daddy. Oh, look at you. Simon has 41, and they carry it on the start of the Top Gun in Maverick. Some of the scenes in Maverick definitely pull the heartstrings. Great. I'm hearing great reports about that one. Great reports about that one. I really want to say, David Mayer, my brother is an Egyptologist. Okay, fine, thank you. Shugsy, Netflix is still around. Yeah, it's still around, especially it's still around. Mark Oliver, especially with Val Kilmer. He also played Batman, didn't he? Okay, so anyway, so there's a couple of movie reviews. You know, we've had two big questions tonight, all light-hearted stuff. We've had a bit of fun. We've had our fun. We've had our fun, haven't we? That's what the Gambian gigolos say to the Wongas when the partner. You know, we've had our fun. Now give us your money. You know, that's what the Wongas say. But yeah, you know. But anyway, we've had a bit of fun. We've had a couple of questions tonight. We've had a couple of movie reviews. It's Tuesday night. There's nothing else exciting going on. So Monday and Tuesday, 10 o'clock on this channel. You know, I'll be around there every week anyway. I hope you've enjoyed tonight. And let me see. Yogi Bear, Ed, thanks for asking the question. You here tomorrow or Thursday on the other side? I think probably on Thursday night, I'll be doing a live stream on the main channel. You know, that will be a travel-related show anyway. So thanks for that. Mark Olive, be kind and rewind. Okay. Well, I think what it is, we've waffled on now for an hour and 47 minutes. Sandra Taylor, nice Eddie, enjoy. Sleep well. I hope I will. Okay. Sandra didn't like that talk about burglars last night. She didn't like that kind of talk. So I hope this is put in a better mood. Capo, Ed, if you could play any part in a movie, which would you choose? Oh, I'd probably be the man with no name, Clint. Yeah, I'd probably be Clint, the man with no, get 3 coffins ready. My mistake. 4. I'd be Clint. Coolest guy ever. Alistair Taylor, thanks for the laughs, Ed. Adios. Okay. David Heisenberg, great show as ever, Eddie. Okay, thank you. Rusty Lid, thank you. Ken Christopherson, thanks, Eddie. Night. Okay, so Pele, Lee James, Chugsy, Simon Eyes 41. Thanks, Eddie. Loved it. We need a full live stream of movie chat. Be well, Eddie. Okay, we'll work on it. Okay. So McLaren F1 race, Yogi Bray. I'll say good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back on the other channel probably Thursday night. In the meantime, have a great day tomorrow, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.